Joining me is the Chief Electoral Officer of Assam, Mr. Anurag Goel, to talk about the preparation of his office for the third and the final phase of polling in Assam. So, it's a huge exercise. Finally, it is coming to an end. Give us more detail about this phase. How many voters coming out? What are the numbers of male, females? Give us some details.
In fact, by and large, the elections in Assam have been peaceful so far in the first two phases, and with the blessings of the citizens of Assam, we have been able to conduct it in a fairly transparent manner, and with a high voter percentage turnout, nearly 80% in both the phases. The third phase, we are looking at a voting percentage of more than 85-86% on the average, while I think Dhubri is likely to go beyond 90%. The total number of electors in the third phase are almost 49,091, out of which the male voters are around 41,544 and female voters are 40,48,436. There are almost 9,516 polling stations which we have set up, and but many of them are in difficult areas or areas, riverine areas near international borders, where we had to send around 343 polling parties yesterday on P-2. In fact, those are the areas which are far flung. Today also in the early hours the weather was inclement, but the weather improved in the daytime, and therefore all the polling parties have been dispatched from the locations by around 2 p.m. and as per information just which I had received is around that 4,775 polling stations parties have reached their locations almost around 30 minutes ago. So I'll get another update very shortly.
Just wanted to check. It's the weather is there is inclement weather. There was there are a lot of things going on. How are you guys planning to make sure that people who are coming to vote are being taken care of? Are you talking to the DMs and the polling officers?
In fact, to do away with the negative impact of the inclement weather, whether it's heat wave in northern India or rains in this part of the country. We have already taken steps. We have talked to state government, also chief secretary, and issued necessary directions to all the district magistrates and state disaster management authority. Number one is for rescue. Number two, to make available some shared infrastructure near the polling stations with the help of the school management committees, and because they are all community felt needs which can be managed locally instead of doing it from the top to bottom approach. And the good thing about schools in Assam is that in most of the schools which are polling stations, there are long verandas or baramdas, what you say in northern India, with covered shades. So a lot of people can be accommodated under that. Extra shades will come. Extra shades, if required, some tarpaulin will be come up through the school management committees, and that has already been ordered to the DCs.
So Assam is also bordering some other states, Indian states, and also international border with Bangladesh. How are you guys working on dealing with those borders?
So far as the interstate borders are concerned, in all the third phase districts, we are having sufficient number of the FSTs, VSTs and SSTs which are in place, and they are taking care of the interstate borders. In the international borders also we have placed SSTs, the static surveillance teams, as they say, so that there are no movement. In fact, there was an instruction which was issued from MHA for each phase of election to the forces which are present on the international borders like BSF and SSB, that from 5 p.m. of the P-1 day, that means today, to the closing hour of poll, that means tomorrow, the international borders will be almost like sealed, and only very essential movement will be allowed.
Much appreciated your time. So that was the Chief Electoral Officer of Assam saying that all preparation have been done and no stone will be unturned to make sure that voters come out in large numbers. With camera person Naveen, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for TD India from Assam.